shape. I'm going to keep painting this with my eyes sort of half shut so that I'm not seeing too much detail. That's important. Your eyes keep adjusting to where you're looking. As I'm looking back in the distance, I see a lot of detail. I come forward, I see more detail. So I just kind of keep painting what I see when I squint. That's something I tell my students often. A good tip to kind of keep in the back of your mind while you're working on these things. If you keep squinting down, especially in the big shapes, then, look a little bit closer and, open your eyes again to see those colors and values a little more clear. But when you're trying to simplify and loosen things up, blocking out detail, squinting really helps a lot. That's going to connect right down into that foreground. I'm going to go ahead with some thicker blues here now in that foreground area and let that stuff fuzz a little bit too. It's a nice little connection down here to the bridge. I don't want to wait too long to paint that shadow. I would like it if that shadow fuzzed a little bit across the water. So if I can time it right, it's a little bit too early right now, but I'm kind of gauging what it's going to do by making these marks over here. But if I can catch that right so it fuzzes just a little bit, that'd be nice. Doesn't always happen. It's tough out here, in the studio. It's a totally different beast. You can gauge the timing and consistency a lot easier in the studio. When you're out here, you think you've got more time, but all of a sudden the wind and the sun has dried things too much, and you wait a little bit too long and you're out of luck. And I'm not a big fan of re-wetting my paper for whatever reason. I've never gotten too comfortable doing that. I prefer to just kind of keep, working on it as it's drying and go from there. All right, I want to get that dappled shadow on that corner of that bridge. I think it's just a cast shadow from something. I can't really tell, but it was in my value study too. That left side of that bridge had it's a little bit darker over there. And that's part of the connection also. But there again, if I put that in now, before it's all dry, it'll fuzz a little bit and it'll look more like a shadow and not an angled different plane or something on the bridge. And that's going to help to pop that dappled light on the side of that tree trunk too a little bit. If I can get that on there now. All right, I think I can come pretty close to getting that reflection and shadow coming down here already. Yeah, it's a little warm today again. Everything's drying pretty rapidly.